agency special. Oh, yes. Nobody is waiting till 6 o'clock Eastern. Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that Kevin Durant is, in fact, headed to Brooklyn to join Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan. I am Rachel Nichols. We are here with our free agency special. We'll be on the air for the next 5 hours as all of this news develops. I am joined by our insider, Ramona Shelburne, New York Times bestselling author, Brian Windhorst, our front office insider, Amin Elhassan, and my friend, the free agency crank. Every time there's a big deal, you are going to hear this. And I think Kevin Durant going to the Nets is certainly worth all of it. Now, Brian got electrocuted by this crank a couple years ago.
I'm sitting in the
Ramona,
middle.
I can't speak for you. Look, it's free agency.
Okay.
We all have to sacrifice. Woj is going to be with us very shortly. He's still hammering out all this news because it's madness. So please, guys, talk to me a little bit about how this happened, because for months we kept talking about all of this happening across the river with the New York Knicks. How did this all come to be?
I think Kevin Durant has wanted to play with Kyrie Irving and DeAndre Jordan for a long time, and he feels like he can play with his friends there. I mean, this is what we've known about Kevin for a long time, that he was going to make his decision about where he wanted to play for the next 4 years.
Right.
And the injury threw that off a bit. There was equally strong information the last couple of days that he might just stay in Golden State, rehab there. But he's had a connection with Kyrie Irving for a long time. He's one of his best friends is DeAndre Jordan. When he was going through his free agency a few years ago, DeAndre was the guy he was calling. And when DeAndre was when all that happened with him in Dallas, DeAndre was calling Kevin. They've been close for a long time, and even though it's hard to believe this all came together, you've seen these signs telegraphed for a long time. The only question is whether or not he would really go through with it. The Knicks, though, I know this is probably a really sad day for Knicks fans. They're not even in New York. They're in Los Angeles about to start their free agent meetings with guys like Julius Randle. They've already kind of seen the writing on this wall, and they had to consider whether or not they could use up all their cap space on Kevin Durant as he comes off an Achilles injury. And I think they've seen this and decided, and they were preparing for this for the last couple of days, that we've got to move on and try to recalibrate around a young team.
Over the last couple of weeks, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were strongly recruiting DeAndre Jordan to come with them to Brooklyn. That was apparently the place they had decided to play. Within the last few days, Kawhi Leonard reached out to Kevin Durant to discuss what they may be looking at. And that, sources told me, sort of paused Kevin a little bit, like, let me see what Kawhi wants to say. He was flabbergasted to hear from Kawhi, quite frankly. And that's why for the last 48 hours or so, there's been a little bit of an unsettling. But from the All-Star game forward, where Kyrie and Kevin were essentially attached at the hip, that they spent time together off the court. Kyrie spent time with Kevin while he was recovering from his first calf injury during the playoffs while the Warriors were on the road. Kyrie was negotiating sort of in there. So this has been something that's been a train going down the track for a while, and a huge move for the Nets to not only lock down Kyrie, but to get the both of them so that even in this next year they can be very competitive while Kevin recovers.
Look, the Knicks are the team that made that huge trade in the middle of the season, clearing the most cap space of any team this year, about $70 million in space. They traded away Kristaps Porzingis, and we've talked over the past couple months about, hey, first of all, there was off-the-court issues we didn't know about at the time with him, and obviously there was some concern about on the court and his health and everything going forward. All of that is a gamble, though, about you trade away a player who's got such a unique skill set. He is literally called the unicorn, partly because they thought they had enough information to make this move. Jim Dolan goes on the radio and brags about how we know players want to come here, and instead it's the Brooklyn Nets coming here. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.